Hello, Mr. Rutledge. Welcome to the House of Johnson Funeral Home. I'm Dominic Johnson. I'll be here to assist you today.
Okay.
You have a seat.
Sure.
Before we start, can I offer you any water or juice or anything?
Sure, I'll take water.
There you go.
Thank you.
On behalf of the House of Johnson Funeral Home, I'd like to extend my condolences to you and your family on the loss of your grandmother.
Okay.
Before we start, do you have any pressing questions or issues, or anything?
No, I would just like to know, to take this step by step.
Okay. So how the arrangement conference goes is we'll be filling out a worksheet, and that'll be used to fill out all the vital information, and that information will be used to fill out the legal documents. Okay? And then from there, we'll be able to process any paperwork necessary to complete the arrangements. Okay?
Okay.
But before we start, can you tell me a little bit, if possible, about your grandmother, her life, how she lived, what type of service do you think she would like?
Well, I know for a fact my grandmother wanted to be buried.
Okay.
But you know, my grandmother, wow, she lived. We grew up in New York, and she was one of the people that was in World War II. The women that was helped building parts for planes and things, and you know, she talked about that very extensively. You know how they used to be in the factories building all these parts, and they were sending the men off to World War I and II. In fact, you know, she was really proud about that, and so I do. You know, I don't know if that would qualify her as a veteran or not, but you know,
No, was she part of the armed services?
No, they was just, you know, they were stationed at a factory that did things for the Army. So but she was really proud of what she did during that time.
Now, with that being said, she's not entitled to any veteran services,
Okay.
but we can still personalize some things to help with that though.
Okay, I mean, that's fine, you know. It was just a long stretch. I didn't know if it actually was a veteran or not, you know.
So, with that, what type of service do you think that she would like? Do you think she would like a traditional funeral or just a memorial service?
Oh no, she's going to be buried. You know, we want to do a burial. We're not doing no cremation or nothing. So, you know, it'll be what you say, a traditional.
Yes.
What's that?
So, traditional funeral is when you have viewing the day before for family and friends to come greet you, and then the next day you would have the service.
Okay.
So then after that you can continue with burial after the service.
Okay, then that's what we want. That's what we would want.
Okay. So, as we continue with the arrangements, can you tell me a little bit about her life?
Well,
Where
you
she
know,
was born?
she was born in, grandma was born in New Hampshire. Was it New Hampshire? Yeah, it was New Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Chesterfield, New Hampshire.
Chesterfield. Okay. And Ms. Rutledge's date of birth?
Her date of birth was January the 23rd. Let me look, because I've got it in my phone here. January the 23rd and 1928.
And when I talked to you earlier on our conference call, you said that Ms. Rutledge passed at the nursing home.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, I'm getting some more information here.
Now, do you know Ms. Rutledge's primary doctor, or do we need to call and find out the information?
Her primary doctor was through Beaumont Hospital. Dr. John Lake.
Okay. Now, do you have a particular day, and time that you would like the services to be held?
So Nana passed yesterday, so what's today? It's Friday. Can we do something like maybe, next Friday?
Yes, that's fine. So let me check the dates. Okay. Now, do you want the viewing on that day, or do you want the service on that day?
The service on that Friday.
Friday, okay. So viewing would be Thursday,
Okay.
and how we do our viewings, at, family comes in at 1 p.m. to make sure everything is okay and to their satisfaction, and then from 2 to 8, the public can come and greet you. Now, you don't have to stay that entire time, but that's entirely up to you.
Okay.
And for Friday, did you have a particular time you wanted for the family hour and service?
Well, when my uncle passed, it was like 10 o'clock family hour and 11 o'clock service, so we can stick with that.
Now, did Ms. Rose belong to a church? Or
Oh yeah, she went to Pentecostal Holy Ghost Baptist Missionary Church of God in Christ.
And will the services be held there?
Yes.
And when we talked about the burial, you wanted Miss Rose next to her husband. And what
Yes,
cemetery is that?
we're at, he's at, my granddad is at Gethsemane.
Gethsemane? Okay. So I can call Gethsemane and get the information and make sure the opening and closing and everything is paid for as well.
Yeah, it's paid for. We made sure that they made sure they paid for their graves. Now, I don't know what's the opening and closing.
Opening and closing is when the cemetery opens up the grave and when they close it. So most cemeteries is all combined, sometimes it's traditional. You could have paid for the grave, but opening and closing could not be paid for sometimes. So it just depends on what they pay for when they make the arrangement. But I can call them and check.
Okay.
So I think we have enough information to complete all the paperwork and everything. So before we go into packages, I'm going to give you the GPL, which is required by the FTC to give to you right here. So the GPL, this states our acceptance of payments with credit card, cash, and insurance. And then on the inside is our general price list. So we do packages, but we break down into individual prices. And then on the back here is our cemetery policy. So before we continue on with the prices, I just need you to read over that and just sign your name. So from what you told me, I think a traditional package would be great for grandma. That package we have, it'll have a metal standard casket. Since she loved the Armed Services, we can do the flowers in traditional red, blue, and white. Like I said, since she's not a veteran, she won't be entitled to a flag, but we can have some memorabilia there in honor of her.
Okay.
So with that package, includes our funeral director and staff. The casket, as I told you, includes the limo and a hearse and everything we will do, the obituary and the programs for you. Okay?
Okay.
So I'd like to thank you for your time for coming in, and you are in good hands, and I thank you for entrusting us with your grandmother.
Well, you're very welcome, sir. Thank you.
And here's your paperwork for you.
Okay.